All right, day one of the Phoenix test, the first 3 hours, and guess what? It's been the Roger Penske, Joseph Newgarden show. They dominated practice, and the Honda guys are like, yeah, well, they practiced here a few weeks ago. It's not that big a surprise. It's the heat of the day. Let's wait till the night. We're going to practice tonight. We're going to practice again tomorrow and tomorrow night. We'll see what happens then. But considering that Honda had the off-season to work on their aero package and using that 9.3 rule that you wrote about in Marshall Pruitt's story, you kind of thought, man, maybe they'll come roaring out of here and be awful tough. Right now, though, there were two Hondas in the top 10 in the first session. Graham Rahal was 5th, Marco Andretti was 7th, and everybody else was towards the back. But what you understand is we're talking 3 or 4 tenths here. However, in 200 laps, 3 or 4 tenths might make a big difference. Good news is nobody hit the wall. Cars look nice. It's a beautiful day. What was kind of impressive to me is Max Chilton and Luca Felipe they've had an oval track test, but this is the first time they've ever run on an oval with traffic around them, and they both did a good job. And tonight they got 3 more hours to work on their craft. So this is Robin Miller for Marshall Pruitt, RACER.com. Keep watching. All right, WP, you and Castroneves broke the unofficial track record of 19.6 by going 19.5 in the heat of the day. I'd say a pretty good start for Team Penske since you guys were, I think the 4 of you dominated the charts most of the day, and now you're 4 out of the top 6.
Yep, definitely felt comfortable out there. Car felt good, and I think I just love to come here and put Speedway wings on it. So we're doing 200 on the straights, and put the road course horsepower, downshifting a couple in the corners. You imagine that? That'd be awesome.
Can you fight for something like that among the drivers? Do you think you'd get them to rally behind that?
Oh yeah, you can imagine the whole field would agree on that.
but would it make the show better?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see tonight how the passing is. That will be interesting. Like, will you be able to get by someone? I think it's going to be very difficult to have 2 lanes in turn 1. So, I think if it was like Milwaukee, where you downshift a couple of gears and drive out, like in 2013 and 14, you could get a run and probably get beside someone by here. And I think they've got to have it to a point where the guy on the inside of you has to be lifting, because if he's wide open, he's just going to do a shorter line and you're never going to get by. But that's just something we've got to feel out here. But I mean, at the end of the day, right now, we have the most downforce the cars have ever had in history, and the most they've ever run on ovals. So it's pretty stuck.
What about physically just going through this place wide open?
Yeah, it's physical. The steering is quite heavy. I feel actually after the test, so I've spent a bit of time in the weight room, so I feel a little bit better today. But I think with this track, it grips up a lot, and the wheel just gets heavier and heavier. So with 20 cars out there, she's going to be pretty hooked up.
Well, should you guys have power steering, and why don't we?
Well, I don't think we should have power steering. I think we should probably have less aero, because when you're running at a very low level, like qualifying type trim, the steering, you can feel the car, and the steering's quite light. I mean, you could fix the problem without spending any money right there. But otherwise, if they want to keep the amount of downforce, at some point they're going to have to put power steering in.
For your first day, your first report card day, you're 15th out of 20. C minus. Okay, so should anybody that's got a Honda be worried, or is it just the first 3 hours of practice, and so it's Penske? Of course they're going to be fast.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Penske are going to be quick anywhere, and they were testing here like last week. So, I don't think it's panic mode yet. We've been on track for 3 hours. We still have time. It's not the end of the championship quite yet. But it's just great to be back. It's great to be back here in Phoenix. It's a fun little track. It feels like the first day of school. Having everybody back in one place, and for me, being back in the competition side of it's been good. And we're just going to keep knocking on the door and keep chipping away at it.
Willie Power said he came here and tested, and it beat him up pretty bad. So he's been going to the gym for the weight room. How was your experience as far as physically just running 3 hours out here?
Well, I mean, I came here back in November and tested and did a whole day and never once mentioned anything. And then all the Penske guys come here and it's, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, it's so hard. It's hot. Can we turn the heat down in Phoenix? I don't know if I'm going to make it. No. And I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, maybe they just have like a ton more downforce than we do. I don't know. But I think it's fine. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, it's going to be hard. But guess what? Racing IndyCars is hard.
Yeah. So we were talking to Will, and I said, should you guys have power steering? He said, no, not necessarily. You feel that same way?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, as long as we're smart about it. I mean, a place like this, we have the ability to set downforce levels and control that. The places that you run into problems, especially as we continue to make these kits better and better, are places like Barber and Mid-Ohio, where your arms and your neck and everything is just like, we're getting to the point where we're on the edge of like what human beings can withstand for 300 miles. That's kind of where power steering becomes more of a conversation, I think, than a place like this. And then also in accidents and how it behaves to the steering wheel in an accident. So I fundamentally don't want power steering, but I do understand why the conversation keeps coming up.
Do you think, is it just too early to even try and guess what kind of race this might be?
Oh, it's way too early. I mean, it's a night race, right? And, we've only run from between the hours of 12 and 3 or whatever it was. So we don't have any idea what the track's going to be like for the downforce level that's been picked. And so I think after tonight and definitely after tomorrow night, we'll have a much better idea of where we need to be downforce level wise, how this place is going to race, see if we can start getting that second lane working up in 1 and 2, and then we'll know.
All right, the Highline, I like that. Mr. Highline right here. We're going to throw his report card away because nobody else saw it. Mom and Dad didn't see it either.
No.